For this segment of Variety Studio, we're going to discuss some of the top Simpsons episodes. Being a big Simpsons fan, both of us ourselves, let's run through a couple of them. So I'm going to read my top 10, and then you tell me what I left off, or let's do some discussing. All right, so the first one the 10th one I have on here is 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. It's a little bit newer. In consideration, it's like 2000.
I think it's 2002 or something.
2000, I think it was, yeah. So it was kind of coming out right of the prime. It's where they go to Japan, and you remember the episode?
Yeah, the watermelon gag is my favorite. The square watermelon, and they go to eat burgers in Japan. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty great. And Homer's like, he gets like arrested, and he's walking through like the paper mache like jail cell. That was pretty funny. And then and then of course Bart he finds like a lucky fish. Like they have to work at this the fish factory, and they're like cutting the guts and in and out, and could have saved the lucky fish. Good stuff. But and then also in that one, then it ends with they're on the game show, and then they win the tickets back home, and of course you need a Godzilla reference there at the end.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So next we have You Only Move Twice. You remember that one?
Of course. Yeah, I should have actually maybe put that one even higher. That's one of my favorite ones because that's the one with Hank Scorpio. Homer gets a new job.
Yeah, I'd say that's around 2 or 3 for me. That's definitely in my top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's classic. He doesn't know he's working for a supervillain. It's like the perfect job.
Yeah.
They go to the hammock district, right? Yeah, it's funny, and Homer's like in charge. He's like the boss finally. So it's a very, very funny episode.
Classic.
Yeah. Let's keep moving on here. So the next one I have on the list is the Cartridge Family. That's the one where Homer it feels insecure or feels unsecure after there's a big soccer riot at the stadium, and then they go purchase a gun. Homer goes purchases a gun,
and he shoots it to turn the lights on and off, and to get Lisa's basketball down from the roof.
Right. Very funny. Very funny stuff. And of course, the best scene in that is it's very notable on Hulu. They still have it over there. Is Homer goes into the store and he wants to get a gun like right away, and tells the gun shop owner that he'd kill him if he didn't have his gun.
I'm mad now. Yeah, I'd kill you if I had my gun.
Yeah, well, you don't.
So let's keep moving along. Doing with outlawing things. So Homer versus the 18th Amendment. That is like one of my all-time favorite. Homer versus the beer baron.
Oh yes, yeah. That one's great.
Rex Banner.
Rex
Banner, classic over there. He's trying to catch the beer baron. He gets Flanders, comic book guy, and then of course Homer walks like right past him, undetected.
Yeah.
I
love the whole rig they have set up from his house with the bowling balls going into Moe's Tavern, and then it ends up blowing up, and Homer kablamo to get Marge to not find out about it.
Must have been another one of those beans he had.
Yeah, I rarely laugh out loud, but that's one that it's so funny.
It's funny. And then of course Barney gets the ball, and he's like, "This must be this better be one of the best beers I've ever had." And like, you got lucky on that one. And then moving right along, Homer and Apu. That's an earlier one, early '90s. That's like really I felt like it set the tone, really set the stage for like the Simpsons and how creative and clever they really would turn out to be. Homer, of course, gets Apu fired from the Quickie Mart after he eats a tarnished hot dog. And he keeps eating the hot dog. Apu offers him like another bucket of like shrimp to make up for like to make up for it.
That's something the Simpsons do so good is music, and one of my favorite songs is in that episode when Who Needs the Quickie Mart song. That's so classic. Funny. It's such a great song.
Yeah, Who Needs the Quickie Mart, and of course it's great.
Not me.
And when Homer's eating the Apu's food, like Apu, good me friend, like he's like,
yeah.
That's a very, very funny episode.
That'd be on my top 10 as well.
Yeah, it's a good one. Classic for sure. And then Homer the Great. That's the one with the stonecutters.
Of course.
You can't go wrong there.
Again, another great song.
Yeah, We Do. It's like they go through the whole thing, and Homer's the chosen one, and of course he finds his way to get out of that. And another one I didn't put on the list, but it reminds me a little bit of it. The
honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yes. Here's an honorable mention. The Leader, the one with the leader. I forget the exact name of it, but that's a really good one.
Where they parody the Jonestown, the cult.
Yeah,
talking about where they...
Yeah, the cult, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Batman. Yeah. That's a funny one. That's a good one. Keep moving along here. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see, Homer the Great. And so we're moving on to one fish, two fish, red fish, blowfish. That's a really good one. That's the one where Homer, he eats the poisonous fugu fish.
And he thinks he's going to die.
Yeah, and he thinks he's going to die. And one of my favorite scenes of like all time in The Simpsons is the where he goes to Dr. Hibbert. And he, he goes through like all 5 stages of like acceptance, denial, and like anger, and all that, like all in like one, one
in
motion.
5 seconds. Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, classic stuff. And then another one I had on there, coming in at 3, is Lisa's Pony. That's one of my favorite ones. That's the one where Homer feels bad about letting Lisa down at one of her music recitals, I believe it is, and he goes out and buys her a pony. So he has to pick up like another job at the Quickie Mart. And he's always, he keeps falling asleep on the job, and like he gets like 5 minutes of sleep a night. So that's a really
that's an earlier episode, right?
Yeah, it's like 1991, I think it is. So that's a classic one. And then continuing with that trend of the early episodes is Homer at Home at the Bat. That's one of my all-time favorites. Of course, I'm a big baseball fan anyway. But there's, Ken Griffey Jr. got that. Don Mattingly, of course. Don Mattingly,
my favorite.
Mr. Burns, goes up to him. He says, you got to cut those sideburns. And, of course, he shaves his whole head, and he still gets in trouble. But he still likes him better than Steinbrenner's.
Mattingly! I thought I told you to trim those sideburns. Go home. You're off the team for good.
Fine. I still like him better than Steinbrenner.
So that's really funny. So yeah, classic stuff over there. And just the fact that Homer gets replaced by Darryl Strawberry, like this great Mets baseball player at the time, and it's just so funny how everyone but Homer's position is like sucked into some like unfortunate like circumstance, like Ozzie Smith fell off the face of the earth, Ken Griffey drank too much like tonic or whatever it was, and so that was very funny.
Yeah, another great episode.
Great episodes. And I think you also had this as your number 1, the Homer They Fall, or if not number 1, up there, right?
I think that's my all-time favorite episode.
Yeah, what did you like about that episode?
It's everything about that is so great. I love when Homer's in the ring with Moe, and he can't even punch, and the fly comes on the bag, and he goes to punch it, and it flies away. Everything about that episode is great. All the commentary with Moe and Larry King and everything is it's so fun. And the
Don King. Well, Lucius Sweet.
Lucius Sweet, and Mike Tyson is Dredrick
Tatum. Yeah, of course. Very obvious parody right there, and the Don King reference, Lucius Sweet. It's a very funny line in there where he's like, they kind of made up. I was watching some of the Simpsons writers, and they really like try to enhance the vocab on that. They use this word, fustigate him. You remember that? Do you remember that? He goes into Lucius Sweet goes into the office, and he says, he's gonna fustigate him.
Oh yeah, I do remember. He goes into the bathroom.
Oh no, Moe says it. Yeah. So very, very funny episode there.
There's a line that we talked about the other day. I can't remember. It's like one of the most famous lines that Homer says in that episode.
Well, he goes into the. Well, you might be referring to the one where he goes into the ring and like moments before he like steps in the ring, like someone Tatum had like a heart attack or whatever it is.
I think it's in the beginning. Oh, fight with we need a doctor. Kill him.
Yeah. Dr. Nick, man. He's the worst fight doctor ever.
Yeah, he's fine.
And they got Michael Buffer for that episode. So, I mean, that was like a really legitimate episode. So, yeah, that's my top 10. Any notables that I left off? Maybe the monorail. I didn't mention the monorail. There's so many great episodes. You really can't narrow it down to 10.
It's very hard picking they constantly change. You watch one day, and then that becomes your favorite episode. And I find that happens with Moshe, is that they constantly change my favorite episode.
Right. this is as it stands right now. But like you said, I mean, there's so many great episodes that that when Homer's an astronaut, or there's so many.
Yeah, The Shining.
The Shining, right?
So
well,
great. That goes along with the Treehouse of Horror.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to do a separate one just for those because Treehouse of Horror is just alone.
We'll do that on its own.
Yeah, because that one could you could go forever with that. There's so many great episodes because there's so much more versatility you can do with that. You can kill people and you can do different parodies and all. So
they've done everything.
They've done everything. Yes, they have.
South Park notes that pretty well in one of my favorite South Park episodes.
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
We'll have to save that list for next time.
We'll do a South Park list.
We'll do Family Guy, whatever. We'll do them all. So
I don't know about Family Guy.
No Family Guy. So all right. Well, that's gonna do it for this segment of Variety Studios TV show talk with Evan and Rob.